Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 answers to questions you've always wondered about. So there are some mysteries in the world you likely always think about. From abstract questions like why is the sky blue, to more real world stuff like why do you say cheese before you take a photo, and why does your dog follow you to the bathroom? Well, today we're going to answer these very mind-blowing questions. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10 we have blank pages. Do you guys read books anymore? Yeah, me either, but there's one thing everyone knows about books which is very strange. That is that books always come with at least 1 or 2 blank pages. Sometimes these pages are simply left blank, and sometimes they even have a message saying this page has been intentionally left blank. So you may be wondering, why do they do this? Well, really it's all to save money. The blank pages are actually a way the publishers purposely waste paper, and these blank pages actually have a name. They're called signatures. You see, when books are printed, they're not printed on individual pieces of paper. They're printed in groups of 8, 16 or 32 pages. The machines fold and cut these pages into a book form. However, most books don't exactly divide into 8, so usually there'll be some leftover pages as the publishers only print pages in sets of 8. This isn't very eco-friendly, but it does mean the publishing companies don't have to make whole new machines every time they print a new book. Next up is blue veins. I'm sure at some point you've heard people say your blood is blue before it touches air, then it turns red. Well, believe it or not, this is a myth. In reality, your blood is always red. But why do our veins look blue? Well, it's actually all about light. There are different wavelengths with different properties hitting our arms when we look at it. The blue light happens to be absorbed by the blood and then makes it back to your eye. So really your veins aren't actually blue, it's just how you see them. This is pretty trippy and is also quite similar to a question we have coming up in a moment. So guys, we've seen why our veins appear blue when really they're red. But one abstract question every kid asks when they're young is, why is the sky blue? I'm sure your parents said it just is. But if they did, then that's the wrong answer. There's actually a real reason why the sky appears blue. Much like with your veins, it has everything to do with wavelengths and blue light. Blue light scatters more than other colors in the spectrum. This is because it travels in shorter and smaller waves. So because of these reasons, the sky appears blue. Really, nothing is any actual color. The only reason color exists is because light waves reflect off certain things, making them look different colors. So that is why the sky appears blue. Next up is cheese. Everyone knows that when you get your picture taken, someone says, say cheese. But why is this done and who came up with it? Well, the origin is actually unknown, but it's likely either from the USA or the UK, seeing as it's in English. But why cheese? Why not a different word? Well, the act of saying cheese actually turns the corners of your mouth up. This lifts up your cheeks as well, showing off your teethy grin. So really it's just a word which shows off your teeth in a very good way. Pretty much any word with an E in it does this. But because when we say cheese we usually extend it, like cheese, this means our teeth are then on show for a long time, allowing the person to take the photo with our big grins in it. So guys, the reason you say cheese is simply to show off your teeth. Next up is dog follows. If you guys have a dog, you know the struggle. You try and do something private and your dog follows you everywhere. Normally this isn't a big deal, but one place your dog seems to love following you into is the bathroom. But why does your dog follow you into the bathroom so much? Well, it's simple and actually occurs more with female dogs. The reason why dogs follow you into the bathroom is because they feel vulnerable in your absence. Dogs are also naturally curious, so when you slip into a room and always close the door, you're odd. They're wondering what's going on behind that closed door. This is especially true if you let your dog follow you into every other room except the bathroom. Your home is your dog's territory and the bathroom is within its sphere of influence. So when you lock off an area of the house to the dog, they get very confused and feel vulnerable. So guys, that is why your dog always follows you into the bathroom. Next up is airplane ashtrays. So we all know that smoking on airplanes is banned by pretty much every airline. Smoking can be a fire hazard and was the reason for the downing of the Varig Flight 820. And also some people find cigarette smoke very nasty to breathe in. But despite the fact that smoking is forbidden on airplanes, every airplane has ashtrays in them. You may simply be thinking it must be older plane models back when smoking on planes was allowed. But that is not the case. Ashtrays still exist on new commercial airlines. So why is this? Well, it's all to do with the Federal Aviation Administration. The FAA require airlines to have ashtrays in all airplanes. They should also still have no smoking signs and smoke alarms. The reason why is because the FAA knew that some people would still smoke. You can put in rules, but people will always break them. But if someone lit a cigarette and there was no place to put it out, this would be very dangerous. So in case anyone breaks the smoking rule and still smokes, they still have to put ashtrays on planes. Although nowadays all airlines have to worry about is millennials vaping on the planes. Next up is prune fingers. Next time you go in the shower, bath, or a swimming pool, look at your fingers. After some time, your fingers should start to get wrinkly. This is called pruning and happens with your toes as well. But why do your fingers prune? Many say this is because you're absorbing water, but actually pruned fingers have nothing to do with absorbing water. Instead, it's all about improving our grip underwater. When things are wet, they get very slippy, so our fingers prune up to get a better grip so we can climb better. That's right, this is an example of the human body being amazing. It's an evolutionary thing we've developed which allows us to have better grip while underwater. So if you ever have to climb up somewhere, try and prune your fingers beforehand, as you'll have much better grip. This is something many people know, and the human body does not get enough credit for it. Next up is and ampersand. So when we look at the word and an ampersand, they mean the same thing, right? Well, sometimes they do, but not in movie credits. You may have seen in movie credits, sometimes there's an ampersand and sometimes there's an and. But what is the difference? Well, the ampersand means that two writers work together to write a script, but the and simply means that one writer rewrote the other's work. So an ampersand implies a collaboration, while an and simply means one script has been rewritten by a new writer. This is a pretty cool piece of movie trivia to know, and many people have no idea about it. So be sure to wow your movie nerd friend with this fact. Next up is shower creativity. Everyone knows that one of the best ways to get ideas is to go in the shower. Whenever people go in the shower, they seem to get very creative ideas. And I'm sure you guys have all had a great idea for work, school, or something in your personal life while in the shower. But what is it about showers that give us such creative thoughts? Well, it's simple. Our best ideas come to us in the shower because it's a mindless task. Your shower routine doesn't require much thought because it is, after all, a routine. This then frees your mind to wander around and think of something else. Most of the time we're distracted, even if we're bored or doing nothing. We get distracted by things like our phone, people talking to us, or other things. But in the shower, there's absolutely no distractions and you don't have to think about doing anything whatsoever. So if you guys are stuck on something and need some inspiration, take a shower. It could help. Next up is tomatoes. So, tomatoes may seem like a fruit to some and a vegetable to others. And I'm sure we've all had arguments with people trying to decide whether tomatoes are fruits or vegetables. Well, there's actually two different answers to this question. Scientifically, tomatoes are fruits. This is because it protects and contains seeds. But legally, they're vegetables. That's right, an 1883 Supreme Court ruling classified tomatoes as vegetables. But why does the law stray from science? Well, that's simple, and it's all to do with the Tariff Act. You see, the Tariff Act requires a tax to be paid on all imported vegetables. However, this does not apply to fruits, meaning that fruits don't have to pay import tax. So, the government didn't want tomato farmers to go untaxed, so they classed tomatoes as a vegetable legally. It's pretty crazy how the law is different from science in this case. But if there's one thing the government loves, it's tax dollars. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the most amazing question on this list finally answered. If you guys want more amazing videos, check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.